Hello YouTube and welcome to the Blue Corner to another Dueling Network duel that has commentary. This will be the most entertaining episode because I'm going up against one of my friends from the dragon community, Drunken+Fist, which of course means that you're going to be seeing dragons today, and not just from him, also me. We're both going to be playing Disaster Dragon. I'm running Standard, and I'm pretty sure that he'd be running Standard as well. We both basically run almost identical style decks. I just haven't seen what Drunken+Fist has been doing for the last while. He's kind of just been lurking on the forums, but he's apparently been keeping tabs on what we've all been discussing. And he opens up with Divine Dragon Apocalypse, removes for Darkness Metal, and summons Galaxy Eyes, much to my dismay, as I've got nothing in my hand that can counter that kind of field. And he's not exactly happy with his hand and the way it's looking to work out too. So at this point, I'm just hoping I can at least live for 2 turns, see what I draw. Hope to draw into Dark Hole, maybe. Hoping to draw on the Mass Dragon. So yeah, attacks with his 2 monsters. Thankfully, he doesn't attack Galaxy Eyes first. The Galaxy Eyes is a big problem, because even if I draw onto one of my prisons, I can't use it to get rid of that thing. So, yeah, I just set the Wyvern and hope I can live for one more turn and see what happens. And at this point, we start talking about Draconic Legion and just how terrible it is. I mean, there's some decent cards in there, but as far as for what it does for Disaster Dragon, no. Draconic Legion, Dragons Collide, it's terrible. And yeah, we start bitching about Eclipse Wyvern. Terrible card. I mean, was it really so hard to make a Stratos for the deck? The structure as a whole is just not good. And I had such high hopes for the deck too, but alas, Konami just does not know how to really support dragons that well. Correction, the OCG does not really know how to give dragons good support. Anyway, I draw into Torrential Tribute. Unfortunately, I have no means of triggering it this turn, and I know I'm not going to be able to live long enough for Torrential Tribute to go off. You can just simply remove what I revived with Moss Reborn. Shows that he has another Galaxy Eyes. And we show our back row. And yeah, he has actually pretty good shit. So yeah, there is no way I was going to be winning this one. I concede the duel, and we decide to go into game 2. So yeah, at this point he's running a Chaos style Disaster Dragon deck, basically trying to make use of all the new cards from the structure. Whereas all I've got going is 2 Dragon Reincarnation and 2 Divine Dragon Apocalypse. I open pretty well here. Anytime you open with Mass Dragon and Delta Flyer in hand means all kinds of combinations can be made. You'll either set up a Black Rose Dragon, set up a Leviathan Dragon, set up all kinds of stuff. And he opens with Divine Dragon Apocalypse and swings over my totem. Now I didn't set Mass Dragon immediately because I figured he knew that I very likely had a Mass Dragon down and would not want to try and trigger it, so I'd rather just save the Mass Dragon for when shit goes bad. Anyway, he's got 2 back row down though, so I'm not going to summon my Darkness Metal or my Clockwork Dragon just yet. I'll summon the Leviathan Dragon first, see if I can bait out a Bottomless Trap Hole or a Prison, and try and swing over his guy. He then changed Dragon Reincarnation and uses his effect to summon Darkness Metal. He's like, I'm not happy I made that play at all, but I had no choice. And I can see why this structured stuff is just not really that amazing. I mean, look at what happened here. He had to -2 himself just to avoid getting his stuff pushed in. And, you know, we're like, the structure deck is so minus. It makes no advantage. He special summons Dark Flare Dragon and punches over my Leviathan Dragon. I take 2400 to the face, and I talk about Interplanetary Appropriate Super Special Awesome Mega Dragon. Except I don't have it. I'm curious as to what his effect is. Epic card name is Epic though. The effect of his Dark Flare Dragon, I have a pretty good idea of what he's going to be going after, as I have only one noteworthy card in my graveyard. So, yeah. Pretty sure my Totem Dragon is going to get removed. He dumps an Eclipse over with Darkfire's effect. And he's wondering what the heck happens. Does the monster get removed first, or does the monster or Wyvern search stuff? I'm pretty sure what would happen is Wyvern would search stuff after Darkfire Dragon's effect resolves. So my monster is probably must get removed first. It's kind of like how pitching Whitestone Legend for Dragon Ravine is. You pitch Whitestone Legend, and then dump Totem Dragon to the graveyard, and then search your Blue Eyes. So my totem's gone. I'm super not happy face, and he banishes a Galaxy Eyes through the effect of Eclipse Wyvern. However, I draw into Mind Control, which makes everything better, because now I can simply try and swipe his Darkness Metal Dragon, and then blow up his field with Black Rex Dragon. Now, he doesn't immediately give control, which gives me an idea of what he could be having face now. Very likely a Solemn Judgment, and he's contemplating activating it. He's like, I'm like, someone's got Solemn, right? He eventually gives control of his Darkness Metal. I use his effect, see if he's got the warning. He's like, it's okay. So I revive Delta Flyer. He doesn't chain anything, so I'm like, okay. Summon Mass Dragon. Ask if that's gonna be okay. Let's it through. Activate the effect of Flyer and synchro for Black Rose and attempt to nuke the field. And there it is. So that's Solemn Judgment down. And with that out of the way, I banish Darkness Metal Dragon. If he's got Bottomless Trap Hole, it'll suck, but I can just do something afterwards. I activate his effect, summon Kakami Drago, and I win. Because unfortunately, he had no out of 2 Kakami Drago. Yeah, you want a good dragon card, Kakami Drago. He is by far the best card of the deck. Hands down. Dragon, let's roll. So asking for game 3, just so we can break the tie. And it begins. So I open up pretty decent. I got Delta Flyer, I've got Divine Dragon Apocalypse, I got Mass Dragon. The Mass Dragon's a big one. Opening with Mass Dragon is always a good thing. I've also got Deep Prison to protect it and Mind Control to make plays happen. And at this point, I'm like, I don't even care if Thorny Dragon sounds stupid. He's a deck devastation virus target that can be special summoned a la Neclord, so Pandemic Dragon is going to enjoy this to some extent. I'm thinking summon Malefic Stardust Dragon, it dies on because it has no field spell, and then Thorny Dragon can be special summoned. Anyway, he opens up with Divine Dragon Apocalypse into Darkness Metal into Dark Storm Dragon, and he's like, oh my god, this deck is terrible. And I completely agree. I open with Mind Control, as I already mentioned, so I take this Darkness Metal Dragon, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try and Black Rose again. But yeah, if a skilled player like him is really forced to make all these aggro plays that don't give you any advantage, then you know that the stuff is just not really that great. I mean, I'll give credit to Drunken+Fist though for trying as best as he can to make things work, but Disaster Dragon just seems to be a much better dragon deck. Anyway, I normal summon the Flyer and brings Torrential Tribute, which now clears everything up and allows my Future Fusion to go off without a hitch, because even if it was one face down, I still wouldn't really play Future Fusion, because it's very likely you won a free MST, one of 2 Solemn Warning, and 1 Solemn Judgment. That's 5 cards that people tend to open up with very often that can kill Future Fusion and therefore completely screw the play up. So yeah, my Future Fusion goes through, I set the prison, I'm looking pretty good at this point. The only thing that would really suck is if he opened with Monster Reborn and stole my Darkness Metal Dragon. Friggin' hate that. But instead he allures, looks at his graveyard, and shows me a hand. Ow. Well, there's a Solemn Warning, he must have just drawn into it. Dragon's Mirror, ew, terrible card. I'm like, yeah, that's just So, I eventually win this one. Disaster Dragon versus Chaos Dragon. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, take care.